Hollywood versus Bollywood?
Do we already have 100 comments giving some controversial takes in the comments, even though we haven't given our own insight or input on this video at all?
Probably. Let's just preface this with saying that this video is a little older, so all the information will not be correct. I'm sure we will have countless comments about the new movies that have made more money than some of these other movies, so let's just get that out there right away. And if you are watching the intro, go check out our India vlogs. We went to Karnataka, Mangalore, and Bangalore and explored all around India.
It was fun.
It was, and we're going to go back this spring, actually, as well.
Very epic.
Let's do this. Here we go.
We have to live under a rock not to have been influenced in some way by Hollywood movies. The same
And we should go to a Bollywood movie when we're there.
We went to a movie theater, but we didn't go to a Bollywood movie.
Oh, and RRR was in the theater. We made a huge mistake.
Huge mistake.
cannot be said for Bollywood, the centerpiece of the Indian film industry. The reason for this, of course, is that Bollywood or other Indian movies don't have the same export value that Hollywood movies do. After all, how many people have heard of the fairly recent Indian blockbuster Bahubali: The Beginning compared to how many folks have seen the Batman trilogy? Nonetheless, Bollywood's fame and fortunes and viewing statistics is impressive to say the least. In fact, in terms of viewers and the number of films made, it's certainly a match for Hollywood. Other countries also have big film industries, including China, the UK, Japan, France, and South Korea, but today we are going to focus on the two aforementioned silver screen giants in this episode of the infographic show, Hollywood versus Bollywood. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so that you can be part of our notification squad. Before we look at the history of these two movie industries, we should give some credit.
That's how you know this video is old. Look at YouTube.
Before we look at the history of these two movie industries, we should give some credit to Hollywood and the long list of film industries nicknamed after it. You've got Tollywood, the Bengali film industry, Nollywood in Nigeria, Trollywood in Sweden, and Chinawood in
Trollywood.
Hollywood has been called the film factory of the world, but long before it was given that epithet, it was a quiet part of LA where even quieter movies were made. That's because the first movies made there were silent movies. It wasn't until 1927 and the release of the full feature The Jazz Singer that sound in movies became a thing. These movies at the time were called talkies. Prior to talkies, the first big studios were Centaur Films and Nestor Films. These were the first American independent film studios, with the latter being the first in Hollywood. The first ever feature film made in Hollywood was called The Squaw Man, released in 1914. According to one Hollywood historian, movie makers on the East Coast heard about these studios in sunny LA and followed the trail. This was partly because inventor Thomas Edison, who owned thousands of technology patents, many related to the filmmaking process, was charging hefty fees to East Coast filmmakers. As one writer puts it, in short, if you wanted to be in the movie business, you did so at the pleasure of Thomas Edison. Partly thanks to shrewd Edison, the Roaring Twenties was a Hollywood heyday, putting the little friendly village of Hollywood on the world map. What most people don't realize is that Bollywood history follows a similar timeline to that of Hollywood. The name Bollywood is sometimes believed to mean the entire Indian film industry, when in fact we are usually referring to the Hindi language part of the Indian film industry. It was named Bollywood after the city of Bombay, now called Mumbai, but wasn't actually called
Why did they change it to Mollywood or Bollywood?
People always correct when we say different, like when we say Bangalore, they always correct us, but why didn't they change Bollywood?
Yeah, what the heck? I'm calling it Bombay now, just because Bollywood exists.
Bollywood
and when we were in India, an old man that was from Mumbai that was talking to us, he talked to us for like over an hour.
Very nice guy.
He is a really nice guy. I have his, I don't know if I saved his number. I couldn't figure out how to spell his name, to be honest. But he called Mumbai Bombay.
Yeah, he's from India.
Yeah, so
till the 1970s. Movies are made in many languages throughout India, though Hindi language films are certainly the most popular. In 2014, 1,969 films were produced in India, and only 252 of them were Bollywood films. The first Bollywood movie was called Raja Harishchandra, which was released in 1913. There wasn't the same kind of money or technology in Bombay as there was in Hollywood in the early days of movie making, and so it wasn't until 1931 that Bollywood had its own talkie. That was called Alam Ara, a kind of Romeo and Juliet type of story which centers on the love of a prince and a gypsy girl. Apparently it was so popular, police had to control the huge crowds that went to see it. The period from the 40s to the 60s was the golden age of Hindi cinema, during which time Hindi films were sometimes nominated as best foreign language films. The golden age of Hollywood is sometimes said to be the period of the 20s until the 40s, and one could argue that this golden age is only just starting to falter as Hollywood finds stiff competition from alternative producers of film and television. During the mid-40s, Hollywood was making an impressive number of films, about 400 a year. It's said during this time 90 million Americans watched Hollywood films weekly, which is impressive as in 1945 the population of the USA was only 139.9 million. The number of movies released from Hollywood studios in 2016 was 729 according to Box Office Mojo, although it's thought only about 200 to 250 had a wide release. The gross for Hollywood movies in 2016 was $11.37 billion, which was down on a fairly successful 2015 if you adjust the figure for inflation. From the mid-80s until the mid-90s, the number of releases was around 400 to 550. From 1998 to 2007, Hollywood ticket sales looked in good shape, with 2002 being the best year with 1.576 billion tickets sold, the highest grossing.
2012?
He said 2002, then he showed 2012.
I'm not sure which one is right.
Me neither.
Film that year was Spider-Man. Forbes reported that Bollywood was about to
swell
in terms of profit in 2017, from 2016's $2.32 billion gross to an estimated $2.89 billion for 2017.
So what's that got to be now? Because I feel like it's only grown since then. Like, I mean, the new movies are so big.
It's
like,
got
RRR was massive.
Has to have doubled.
At least.
Dang. That's higher than I thought it would have been in 2017, to be honest.
This means in recent times, in terms of gross profits, Bollywood is about 5 times smaller than Hollywood. Bollywood is no match for Hollywood.
I would say Bollywood's probably doubled and Hollywood's probably gone down.
I would think so, too, with all the streaming services, Netflix.
And their movies are bombing constantly.
Yeah.
They're spending these huge amounts of money on these movies, and then they just keep bombing.
And a lot of people are just waiting for it to go to streaming services.
Yeah.
Because there's 500 different streaming services you can wait for.
It's interesting. It's very interesting.
In terms of money,
is Bollywood coming?
but
who knows,
it
it
beats
might
its
pass it
Western
soon.
counterpart in other areas. In 2016, Bollywood ticket sales were 2.2 billion, which was the most movie tickets sold in the world after second place China. We should also add that sometimes
that makes
the stats
sense. Those
seem
two
to
would be in the
contain
lead.
other Indian films that might not strictly be Bollywood films. 2016 was a so-so year for Hollywood, with the total tickets sold stagnant at 1.31 billion. The LA Times in 2017 blamed this on Hollywood creating poorly made movies. People
So it's
staying
interesting. If the tickets sold was more in India, then the only reason the U.S. made more was just because of cost of living, basically.
Yeah, because American tickets are probably a lot more than India tickets, even though Bangalore, the one we went to, was the same price.
Yeah. Interesting.
The LA Times in 2017 blamed this on Hollywood creating poorly made movies, people staying home more to see movies and TV series, and also the fact that the Chinese market did much worse than expected.
And I'm guessing that that's only gotten worse. People after COVID, people are staying home even more, and the movies, I feel like the movie quality has just gotten worse and worse.
Surprisingly, like the Marvel movies, especially recently.
Awful. They're like really bad now. And
they don't look as good as they used to.
Then the other things that come out are like Aquaman 2, which is apparently just not good at all, and all these other movies that just flop.
And the more you get disappointed by a movie, the more you just decide, oh, I'll wait and see what people think about it. And then if it's bad, then it flops even harder.
And then instead of making different ideas, they're like, this one might have flopped. Let's just reboot it and do some more superhero movies.
That'll work.
Highest grossing Hollywood movie ever, if you adjust US ticket sales at the rate of inflation, is Gone with the Wind at $1.68 billion. Globally, that number is said to be around $3.3 billion. Second would be the first ever Star Wars movie at $1.48 billion in US ticket sales, $2.8 billion globally, although some sources put Avatar above it in inflation-adjusted gross profits at $3 billion. The Sound of Music is said to have earned $2.36 billion globally with adjusted inflation, and Titanic $2.51 billion. Gone with the Wind sold 225.7 million tickets, the most tickets sold for any American movie. Bollywood, again, is not even close when it comes to money earned by individual movies. The highest grossing ever Bollywood movie was the 2016 hit Dangle, grossing $310 million
that was
and doing
in
very well
2016
overseas,
already.
especially in China. It became
Probably
the 5th
more.
highest grossing non-English language film and the only Indian film to go past the 100 million
Didn't RRR become the biggest one?
I thought so.
So it's probably that now.
Yeah.
mark at the time. China's The Mermaid is the highest grossing non-English language film at $553 million. Bollywood would break the 100 million mark again in 2017 with the sequel to the hit mentioned in the intro, Bahubali 2: The Conclusion, which grossed $270 million. The film was actually made in the Telugu and Tamil languages and later dubbed into Hindi. Even though it's often listed as a Bollywood movie, it's actually a Southern India movie and not a Bollywood but a Tollywood movie. Its success even prompted Southern Indians to take to social social media and troll Bollywood fans. The Hindi version can claim that it sold much better than the original version though. The film has a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and was received well by the English language media. In Bollywood, 3 of the highest paid actors and possibly the biggest celebrities are easy to remember as they are all called Khan. Known as the 3 Khans, Amir Khan, Salman Khan, and Shah Rukh Khan, they are some of the highest paid actors in India, though they are not related. Shah Rukh is the highest paid.
What about SRK? What's his name?
SRK.
Oh, Saruk Khan.
Estimated 30
Why didn't they say SRK?
They should. That everyone
highest
knows
paid
him by
actors in
SRK.
India, though they are not related. Shah Rukh is the highest paid, earning an
Saruk. That's not what when I would read that out to loud to myself. I would not expect that to be Saruk.
We're really bad at reading other languages.
I was trying to listen for a name that was SRK, but
Yeah.
it just sounded like one name, Shahrukh.
Estimated $33 million a year on average according to Forbes. This would make him the 10th highest paid actor in the world. Amir Khan made over $40 million for his part in Dangal, while Salman earns around $28 million a year. One other Indian actor, Akshay Kumar, is thought to earn in the region of $31.5 million a year. The highest paid female Indian actress is
Can't
Deepika
imagine how much that is
Padukone.
now.
Her earnings are now at around $10 million. In Hollywood, the money is slightly better, with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson being the highest paid actor according to Forbes with a yearly paycheck of $64.5 million. Next is Jackie Chan with $61 million a year, and third, Matt Damon with $55 million.
I wonder what that list is like
The
now.
highest paid Hollywood actress is Jennifer
don't
Lawrence,
know.
earning $46 million.
That
a
can't
year.
still
With
be
that, we come to
accurate.
the
No,
end
she
of the
hasn't been
show,
movies
and
for a
hope you've
while.
enjoyed this comparison. What do you think about these two old industries, and what
Interesting. If I'm sure you guys have the statistics ready. Let us know the updated statistics.
Tell us what movie is the highest grossing now and how many tickets are sold for Bollywood, Hollywood. Who's winning now?
Let us know. Hee.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed. Check out those India vlogs down in the description below, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Bye.